Alright, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on What the Sheet. And in today's episode, we're going to be making some braid boards. These aren't quite finished yet. We're going to do some custom stenciling on these for when people order these. But basically, all these are 1x8 pine, and then I'm cutting them down to 2-foot lengths. And then these ones have 6 clothespins on them. And I have these nailed on, and then I'm making another batch where we'll have some string that'll drip across, and it'll have 6 clothespins on those, and that way you can adjust the width on these. As of right now, we've got 3 colors at the beginning here, and at the end, I'm making more so I can add one more color, which is the dark walnut, which you can probably see behind me, but at the end of the video, you'll see that too. But yeah, so these are going to be another thing I'm selling at the craft show. I know I've mentioned the craft show a few times, I think, in previous videos. This is one more thing that my wife found that she thought would be a good thing for us to make. So I'm going to show you, how simple these are to make. Like I said, these are 1x8 pine. I buy 6-foot boards because it just fits easier in my car. But if you want to buy 8-foot boards, 10-foot boards, whatever you want to use, just to be more efficient with your purchases. But you can get 3 of these easily out of a 6-foot board, and obviously you can adjust the lengths to however big or small you want them to be. And then for the finishes, so this first one, this dark gray, or this solid gray, is just a paint. It's a chalk gray paint that we got from Home Depot. And then this middle one here, it's got a natural finish on it from Varathane. So it doesn't really add anything to the color. It just kind of basically seals the wood, which is kind of nice because some people want that more natural wood look. And then this last one here is a weathered gray stain that you don't have to wipe off. You literally just rub it on or brush it on and then just let it sit for about an hour to dry. And then you're good, and you can put 2 coats on, which this one has 2 coats. The second coat just kind of darkens up some of the other areas. And with this one, the main reason you're seeing such a big color difference between the top part and the center strip is the center strip is basically the core of the tree. So this is the more of the hardwood, or I think I want to call it sapwood, either or. And then this outside part is kind of more of your natural pine, kind of the outside edge of the tree, where this is the faster growing wood. So this one isn't as dark and as old as the stuff in the middle. So you get that real nice big contrast here with this. What else? The clothespins are just regular, buy the big bag of clothespins. And like I said, I nailed these ones on with my pin nailer. So there's actually 3 pins holding each one of these on. And all I did to do that was I took the clothespins apart in half and then would put the nails on. And then as soon as they're all nailed into place, I just reattach them. Super simple, kind of a nice way to fasten these quickly without having to use glue. And then by not using glue, you don't have to worry about any squeeze out on the sides. And then with the pin nails, since they're so small, you don't have to worry about them potentially splitting the clothespins themselves, just because of how small they are, and the grain patterns might be varying on each clothespin. So pin nails, I think, are the best option for this. And then on top of that, they're plenty strong. As you can see, I can pick it up by a clothespin here and hold it. It's not going anywhere. So not worried about somebody putting anything too heavy on the clothespin, and it's going to rip out, just because the clothespin will lose its grip before the nails will. What else before I get going here? I think that's it. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go over to the miter saw. We'll cut our 6 more boards out, and we're going to make 3 of the dark walnuts, and then 2 more of the natural finish, and then 1 more of the solid gray. And then because I've already got 3 of the weathered gray, so we'll get all the boards cut and then do some sanding on the edges to just break the sharp edges down, and then we'll get started on hanging the string and staining. Okay, so we got our board stained, and now we're gonna actually attach the paper clips or the clothespins. So I already did this one. I just wanted to test to make sure it would work out kind of like I was hoping. I was a little concerned that the clothespins would be a little too, they would slide a little too well on the twine, but it seems to be holding up good. I am a little worried that the twine might snap on the ends, but it kind of is what it is. There's really not a whole lot I can do to kind of fix that problem. So I'm going to kind of show you the little bit of a process that I've kind of figured out doing this a few times already. And it's pretty simple. So this is just some twine that we got at a craft store. I think we went to Marshall's, but any craft store or even like home goods store, like a Home Depot, Lowe's, any big box store, you should be able to get this twine or something similar to this, or you can even use like shoestrings if you want to do that different style. So all I'm going to do is stretch this out so it's probably about an inch longer, about 1.5 inches on both ends, and then I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. So it should be, if you're doing 1.5 inches past these boards are 2 feet, so you're looking at about 27 inches long if you wanted to actually measure it. And so now I have a piece of string, twine, that's, like I said, about 1.5 inches longer on each end of the board. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered. And then I'm going to take one end and I'm going to tie a little knot in it for right now. And I want that knot to be fairly close to the end of the string. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're going to put a little knot down there. And then before I put a knot on the other end, I'm going to take 6 clothespins, and then I'm going to feed the other end of the twine through the spring, because the spring it's got a hole through the middle of it where it's just kind of wound around. So I'm going to feed the string through that, and I'm just going to put all 6 of these clothespins on. And then once I get these on, I'll put another knot on this end. And then all I have to do from there is I'm just going to staple it to the sides of the board itself. And then these boards, we're trying to keep them customized. So we're only doing a few as examples for the craft show that we have going on this weekend. And then, like I said, in the future, these will be a little bit more customized. We're planning on doing, trying to sell them as like something where you can put like your family last name, or for like grandparents or even your parents or aunts and uncles, situations like that where if they want to display, like I think I explained earlier, like pictures or something like that. So now we've got our string kind of lined up here. The knotted ends will go over the edge just a little bit, and I'm going to take my 12-volt stapler, and I'm just going to tack this first side down. And then spin the board around and do the same thing. And the nice thing about using twine or string is it's a little bit stretchy, so if you're a little short or if you want it to be extra tight, you can pull it tight right before you staple it. And then it looks something like this. And then these you can adjust, wherever you want to, for the most part. And it'll look something like that. And then with the strings on the end, the dual purpose for the knot is, one, to make sure that these don't slide off when you're putting them on. And then on top of that, when you put the staple in, that knot acts as a little bit of a break so the string doesn't slide out super easy. And then I'm going to go through with my little tack hammer, and I'm just going to tap the staples down. And then that's just going to make sure that staple is all the way in. And that way the knot doesn't have a chance to slide out when somebody's putting their pictures on. And that's kind of the a general idea. And like I said, we'll put some custom stenciling on these. We're going to make, I think we'll have 2 or 3 that are going to be at the craft show. We'll have one that's for us, and we'll just have it there as an example piece, and then 2 other ones that hopefully will get sold. And then in the future, people can just order these. Then they'll be made to order, just like most of the other stuff that we're trying to sell here. But that's all I got for this video. If you guys have any questions about this project or any of the other projects I got in the garage going on, just leave them down in the comments below, and I'll answer any questions you have, or I can make another video on it if it's something that I've already done a project video on, but you want me to go into more detail about something else, just let me know. But that's all I got for this one. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.